Welcome back. So I've sewn the band, as you can see, just as I said. After we fold it, then we flip it over and then we sew all through. You can see the results, just exactly like you sewed the band separately, like you sewed, like we cut this separately and then sewed. You can see the effects of the band right here. So yeah, so I also sewn the three-piece design that we use for the braids. 1, 2, 3. I sewed it all through down the three. So the next thing I'll do now is to flip it over to the right side. I've turned it over to the right side. So this is the right side, three of them. So the next thing we are doing now is put this aside, then we work on the final touches of the turban itself. So what we do is, this is how it is now. We fold it into two like this, and then we sew it here and then here, from here here. Anyhow you want to sew it, just make sure it's all sewn up. After that, we gather it, we gather it here together, just to get our round band turban cap. So this is what we have now. I've sewn it. As I said, I sewed it from up here and then came here. I gave it a little curve so it won't be pointed at the edge, then straight down. Now the next thing to do is to get your needle and thread, and then let me see, you make the gathers. So what I'm going to do is to measure, before I get to this edge, I'll measure just like 2 inches, or let's just make it 1.5 inches. Then we'll stop the gathers here. This is done so that the gathers will not disturb the turban from sitting well on the head. So this 1.5 inches just to just make sure everything is right. So just continue our gathers till we get to the 1.5 inches. And then so I'll go for the second time. That's all for now. You can leave it like this. But what I just like to do to secure it is to take glue gun and then just glue this end just to secure it like very very well. So that is it. That's all for the turban. So now we are going to the design. As you can notice, this is a different color, the same material but different color, because I realized the design I did for that um yellow color that didn't film properly, so I couldn't use it, so I have to film for this color. It's the same material, the same measurements, everything, just different color, so I have to film it like this. Let's get started. So after we have done our round band turban cap, which we did already, is the next thing is to do the design, which is the braided design. That is the one-sided braid. So for me, because I have mannequin head, I'm using my mannequin head because to be easier. You can do without it. I'll show you how you can do it. It may just be a bit more tricky than using a mannequin head, but you can do it without it. So let's do it first with the mannequin head, then without the mannequin head. So yeah, I have my pen, office pen. This is just the longer version. This is the one I use normally. So I'm using the pen. I'll need the pen for this, for the design. So we have our 3 piece, 1, 2, 3, which we cut and everything. So the next thing now is to braid it. So I'll place them on each other like this, with the sewn part facing down on each other like this. You can see. So I'm doing this to find the midpoint of it. I use pin to actually indicate the midpoint. So here we have the midpoint, and the midpoint of my mannequin is here. So this is my midpoint. This is one side of the design. This is the other side. So I'm doing a one-sided braid. So I'm starting from here. This is the midpoint. So just to bring it a bit, I'll measure 1 inch after the midpoint. So that is where I'm starting the braid from. So before that, for this not to move when I'm braiding it, I'll have to pin it down. Because this mannequin has like a net stem, so I'll pin it down to the net. So it won't move when I'm braiding it. Yeah. That's like when I'm braiding hair. There you go. So from here, just 1 inch. You can eyeball it, or you can just use your tape rule to measure 1 inch or 1.5. So from here, then so because I've gotten what I want, I'll remove the pin. Yeah. So I know I'm starting from here down. Let me pin it a bit more so it won't move. So this is it. I pin it down to the net. So what I'll need to do is just start reading. So I'm not going to braid it to the end. I'm stopping around here. This will be like this. Oh, cute, right? This has to be right. So I'm going to bring this together and then sew it. But before that, I want to show you how you can braid without mannequin head, because it's not everybody that have mannequin head yet. So let me show you how you can braid it without using mannequin head. Let's say you found your midpoint just like what we did then. So you bring it down, you pin it somewhere just like I did. You pin it down so this place won't move. So you can find something heavy. I can just use my tape rule. Just put it on this side. The reason is for this side to hold, to, to just be down so it won't move while we braid the other side. So okay. This will be a bit tricky. Now stop around here. So I put the three ends on each other. So I'm done sewing this place and this, both the beginning and the end of the braids. So the next thing to do is to bring it together. After bringing it together, we sew it here. So we use needle and thread to sew it. Needle and thread to sew it. But first, we measure it to make sure it is our head circumference. So it won't be too big. So normally our head circumference is 23. But because this is a band and it's a band that will be attached to a turban head, so we need it to be more than 23. This is 30 now, which is too much. So my head circumference is 23. I'll just give it like 3 inches extra just because when I make it, so it will come and then fit properly. So I'll make it 26. You can just use your own and then measure your head, or you wear your turban and put it on it to get it. But I use 28, which I've used before, and it came out perfectly. So I'm using 26. So what I'm doing now is to trim it to ensure that it's equal. This is also equal. Okay. So now measure it again to see. Measure it again. Measure. Then this 26. Yeah. Leave like half inch for seven. So just bring this end and this end together. You can use your sewing machine, but most times it won't sew it because now we have a very heavy piece. So you have to use needle and thread to sew it. So let me sew it and then I'll show you the outcome. This is my needle and thread, and then I want to ensure that everything is equal, like the same. So one will not be longer than another or anything like that. So here it is. With all the edges in one place. This will be a bit tricky because this is actually six fabrics together. So it's thick. As I say, using machine may not be possible because so you not just sew it straight. You won't just sew it straight. You make like a gathers kind of stitch, a gather stitch, just like when we are ending our turban. Oh, this is